Butchart is very important to me. I grew up here at Butchart's. My dad worked here, and from the time I was about 4 years old, I played in here. And then in later years, I worked here in the summertime, and then moved on. My dad eventually became the head gardener, and my brother is currently the manager here, the horticulture manager. So we have a long family tradition here at Butchart. So, oh yeah, well, Butchart's was started by Jenny Butchart, and her husband Robert Butchart had a cement plant here, and the sunken garden was a quarry that he dug limestone for the cement plant. And in the early 1900s, she was very upset at the ugliness of the bare rock quarry, and she started to bring in dirt, and eventually created what is now the sunken garden. This property was their home, was their farm, and many parts of the farm are still present here today. The apple and pear trees up on the concert lawn were part of their orchard, and the Italian garden was their tennis court, and the long building alongside of the Italian garden was the bowling alley. And this is the family estate, and they had barns with cows and other animals. They had a chicken house, a turkey house, a whole variety of things. And the first formal garden that she created was actually a Japanese garden. That was the first garden that she built, and then later came all the other gardens. But this is a work of love on her part. She was very environmentally conscious and was very appalled at what her husband's company had done, and she took upon herself to create something beautiful out of it. So that's the sort of the history of the Butchart Gardens. Her grandson Ian Ross eventually took over the business and became a business in the late 40s and early 50s, and he passed on in the 90s, and his son then took it over. He unfortunately died very young, and now Robin, Ian Ross's daughter, runs the garden. She's the owner of the Butchart Gardens. No, I'm not aware of any real plans. The garden has evolved over time, but I think it's been stable for the last number of years. I'm not aware of any growth or any plans for the future. Yeah, it's on the 100th anniversary of the gardens, which was celebrated in 2004. It was declared a National Historic Site, just for the historical significance of the area. And the gardens is considered a significant landmark in Canada. And many people come from all over the world to visit the gardens. So I think it represents parts of Canada. Victoria in particular has a long history of gardening and of being a gardening city, and Butchart Gardens sort of epitomizes that. So I think it doesn't represent all of Canada, but it represents this part of Canada, and it represents the very British tradition that exists in this area. So, my name's Ed. Yeah, and thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your stay.